Welcome back to the studio. It is now Monday. Today we're going to be mostly focusing on the outlines project that we started last week. I also have the Infinity sculpture currently in the reciprocal lab doing its thing. And once the faces on those are completely flat, we can start working on the arrowhead as well. We left off working on this base here. We added the bevel to the very edge right there. And we also flattened both of these faces. At this point, we need to work on getting rid of all these scratches that you see on the glass. Once we're done polishing up the base, we're then going to work on this section right here. So what I did is I finished the sides of the base, brought all of it up to a 600 grit finish so it's ready to be polished. Then I decided to put the piece in the reciprocal lap, that way it can flatten the top and the bottom. And while the machine is currently flattening the bottom of the stand, we can go ahead and work on the next component. Just like the base, I'm going to focus on finishing up the sides. Then once the sides are done on this piece, we're going to take it and put it in the reciprocal lap as well. And if we have time, which I'm not sure we will, but if we do, then we'll get to work on the crescent. We have two pieces now in the reciprocal lap, but it is getting late and I got some boring sort of business stuff I gotta get done, which means I'm gonna wrap it up tonight and I'll see you guys tomorrow. So I got the base and the blue crescent in the reciprocal lap. In exchange, I took out this piece here, which is actually done. Now we can polish up the sides, the faces of the piece. We still have to work on the inside part right here. It's a little rough. We then have to bevel the edges and get rid of this chip right there on the glass. Here is the current progress on this section of the piece. The polishing is almost all done, except we have to work on the inside here a little bit. I'm gonna have to add a bevel to the very inside of this here as well, because it's a little bit sharp. But I really like the color. I think the light blue on this looks really nice. But it is getting late, so I'm gonna wrap everything up here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's Wednesday, and we're on the other side of the studio. We're actually at the jewelry / lamp working bench. We're taking a quick pause on the outlines for right now, and that's because I want to get some work done on the Infinity Pendants. We finished up all the glass work for these, but now I want to get these turned into pendants. I just ordered a bunch of brand new silver and stuff that we need to make these into pendants. The goal is to get as many of these pendants framed as possible. I've got a couple of galleries that want to display this work, so we got to get these made and sent out. First thing we have to do to turn these artworks into pendants is to build a frame around the glass. To do that, we're going to be using this stuff here. This is called bezel wire. It's going to go around the actual pendant like that. Then we'll solder the frame together and we'll move on to the next step. now that we have the frame formed and soldered together, I'm gonna take some fine silver wire right here. We're gonna turn this into a square so it matches the frame. Then we're gonna take the square that we make out of this wire, we're gonna solder it to the very bottom of the frame. That way the glass has something to sit on when we put it into the actual frame. We got the wire shaped and soldered into the frame. You can see it right there. We have that done with all the different frames. At this point, we're gonna cut away all the corners on each frame. This does two things. It makes it to where the glass can sit into the frame a lot better, but it also makes it much easier for us to fold the metal over the glass, which will hold it in place. After that, we're then gonna file down the back of the frame to make it flush and even, getting rid of that little bump you see there from the wire. As you can see, we have the corners cut out. I sanded all the metal down so there's no sharp edges. I also soldered on the bail. This is what the chain is gonna go through. All the shaping, cutting, and soldering is now done with the frames. Now what we have to do is take it over to the polishing wheel here, and we're gonna polish up all the metal. This here is the finished set of wearable artworks. But yeah, we have a ton of different ones. I'm excited to get these sent out. This one here is pretty unique as well. I like this shape. I still have to clean them, and I also have to order some chains and boxes for them to go in. But other than that, though, these are all pretty much done. The pendants ended up taking 2 days to do, so it's actually Thursday night right now. I still have to clean and reorganize this bench here, so I got a lot of work to do. Tomorrow we're going to focus completely on the outlines. I don't want to do anything else but that. And if we manage to get that done, then we're going to work on the Infinity sculpture. But until then, I'm going to wrap everything up here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Friday, it is now Friday. We last left off with this piece here, almost finished. We still have to bevel this inside ring, but we're going to put this aside for right now, and we're going to go work on the base and finish polishing it up. The base of the sculpture is now complete. The color on this is actually really cool. It's not super rich or deep. You can see through it pretty well. I like how it looks on the side too. I think that's cool. Now that the base is complete, we're gonna go ahead and work on this part here. This is the arch that the little ring, the blue one, the light blue one, is gonna sit on. The arch here is pretty much ready to be polished for the most part. We still have these weird marks on the edges that we have to get rid of. So I went ahead and smoothed out all the rough, sharp spots of the piece. At this point, it's time for us to polish up the piece. So this here is about as far as we managed to get on today's project. We still have to polish the inside here. We have to work on the edges a little bit. There were some small little cracks that I had to fix, so I had to get rid of those. As you can see though, the project is coming along nicely. I think the colors look really good, and I'm excited to see what it looks like once it's done. Since the pendants took longer than I thought, this whole project got pushed back a little bit. And because we don't have any projects ahead of this one here, we can focus all of our attention on getting this done next week. So if you enjoyed the video, then be sure to like, and if you want to keep up with all the other vlogs, then be sure to subscribe, and thanks for your time.